Welcome to another episode. I'm Cliff, and today I'm going to be working on a rope mount for my friend John. He just got a climbing rope for his gym. He's turning a little shop into a home gym. He bought the climbing rope, but he has nowhere really to mount it. He's got this beam going across his roof. It's got 8 holes in it, and the mount that he has won't fit. He can go ahead and take the rope with the little shackle and put it through one of the holes, but it's just not strong enough to withstand people climbing on it all the time. So what he's going to do is take a piece of cardboard and cut out the size plate or mount that he wants to use, and he's going to go ahead and put the piece of cardboard behind the holes where he's going to mount it, and then spray paint over the holes to mark where the holes are on cardboard. His idea is to get 2 pieces of plate and sandwich where he's going to mount it to. So he's going to put 1 plate on the bottom and 1 plate on the top, and then sandwich the holes. Then from there we're going to make a little bracket so we can hang his rope from. So this will span across, plate will span across all the holes, and then 1 plate on the bottom and 1 plate on the top. It should be strong enough for him to hang his rope, climb up and down it regularly. So I think I have some 1/4 inch plate. It will work. I have a large stockpile down south, and I'll try to make it for him. So luckily I already had plate in my scrap pile that was the right width for the plate he wanted, so I decided to cut 2 lengths of it. From the same plate there was enough rem left over that I could make another plate with a hole in it to mount the shackle. So to make sure the shackle would fit, I needed to see how far it would move onto the plate, marking the furthest point in so it could pass through the hole I was going to make. Now to cut the hole, I'm going to go ahead and use the hole saw from Harbor Freight. It's the Warrior brand. They actually work pretty good. When I use these, I kind of wobble around like in a circle, so it's not cutting on all the teeth at once. It's slowly kind of biting at it. I also use a lot of WD-40 to keep the blade cool and lubricated. Now to mark the holes, I'm using a transfer punch. You can use a center punch or whatever you got to mark the hole and give the drill bit a little divot to ride in when you're drilling. So I have 16 holes to drill, so I'm not going to use just 1 bit to drill them all. I'm going to go ahead and use a pilot bit and then go to a bigger one, and then the final size. You can use the step bit, but I prefer not to use it on 1/4 inch because who knows how long that step bit's going to last, and with using multiple bits you're kind of spreading out the stress between those bits. It also makes it a little easier by using multiple bits going from small to big. Now to make sure all the holes line up, I'm going to go ahead and clamp both the plates together and drill them all together so it for sure fits when it gets installed. So my idea with the eyelet bracket was to make it narrow at the top and wide at the bottom. The width at the bottom would kind of make it pull from multiple bolt holes instead of in one little small area. But the problem with the wide base on the eyelet bracket is the thickness of the plate would run into where you're bolting through, so you wouldn't be able to get the bolts through when you're installing it. So we went ahead and changed it, cut the ears off and flipped it around the other way. So all there was left to do was weld the eyelet bracket on. At the time I actually ran out of shielding gas for the solid core wire, so I had to use flux core. I never really like using it because there's a lot of smoke and there's a lot of spatter. Then you have slag on top of that you have to clean. So before I'm completely done with the project. I like to kind of quality control check all of my work. You know, get all the sharp edges, all the spatter and slag off of it, clean the grease off. Make sure there's nothing I forget. Right there I'm welding up a little cut piece I didn't like. Those are usually stress risers ultimately, making the part a little bit weaker in that spot, so I just weld it up. You can go ahead and use the part without painting it, but it's gonna rust. So I prefer painting the parts so they do not, and they'll last a lot longer. The shop's all greasy, and so all the work's done. Now I just got to clean up all my tools. Everything in my shop has a home, so I like to clean it up right after work, so when I'm ready to work again, everything's ready to go. Now here's a little video of where it got installed and how it's used.